Chapter 61-62. The next day, Jacob and Elaine got up separately at 6 o'clock. The two of them put on their best clothes, packed themselves neatly, and then took their suitcases to the first floor, ready to go straight to the airport after breakfast. Charlie and Claire also got up early and planned to send them there after dinner. At this time, the antique street was far from opening. Peter did not stay in the store last night, but went back to the hotel. Before leaving, he posted a notice at the door of his store. The content of the notice was open at 9 o'clock. Please queue up to take a number and wait. In the notice below, the paper was cut into 10 strips of paper, with the numbers 1 to 10 written on them in Chinese characters. The vendor who first tipped off Manager Chen, after seeing this notice, took a video and sent it to the Antique Street group, mocking, "Look at it, everyone! Don't Peter think he is famous? There will be a lot of people coming to his store to do business today, right? Isn't it ridiculous to put out a notice asking people to queue up?" Someone echoed, "I guess they know that there will be a lot of people queuing up this morning. Look at him, that's why he posted this notice." The vendor laughed and said, "Don't tell me, I really want to ask him in person how he felt about being cheated of 300,000 yuan. There was someone in the group. He shouted, "Then why don't you hurry up and take a number? Didn't you see that there are only 10 numbers from 1 to 10? I guess these 10 numbers will be used for visiting him today." The vendor curled his lips and said, "I'm not interested in visiting any big thing. I have to quickly set up my stall. If any of you are interested, remember to come and pick up the number, ha ha ha." As soon as the news was sent out, 3 people hurried to Peter's store. At the door, seeing that the store was not open yet, he asked the vendor, "Hello, I want to ask you, is this the treasures shop? Is the boss here surnamed Zhu?" The vendor asked in surprise, "Are you looking for Zhu Liangyun?" He said hurriedly, "We don't know the name of the shop owner. We only know that his surname is Zhu and the online name is the treasures shop Mr. Zhu." The vendor smiled and said, "That should be him. This is his shop." Although the man was curious, he didn't want to reveal the reason why he came. After all, he came to pick up the item, and everyone wanted to keep a low profile. So he said somewhat covertly, "We are here to talk to the boss about something." "Oh." The vendor glanced at the treasures shop's door and saw that the door was locked from the outside. So he knew that Peter was definitely not in the store. So he asked those people, "Are you here to buy something or sell something? If you are buying something, I advise you to be careful. This boss has a bad taste, and the things he sells will definitely not be much better." These 3 people drove over from Eastcliff overnight last night. One of them is a collector worth nearly 1 billion, and the other is his driver and an expert he specially invited from Eastcliff. The 3 of them drove over from Aurus Hill last night, in order to take away Peter's gilt bronze Buddha from the Northern Song dynasty as soon as possible. On the way, the expert carefully studied the information sent by Peter and initially determined that this thing should be fine and not much different from what the seller described. However, to be on the safe side, it is best to touch it in person and feel it carefully. If there is no problem, buying it at 20 million is definitely a bargain. Therefore, this collector was also afraid of leaking the news, so when he heard the vendor slandering Peter, he didn't ask for details. He just smiled and said, "Thank you for reminding us, we will be more vigilant." After saying that, he quickly stepped forward and took the note with 1 written on it and turned it off. At this time, 2 more people came trotting over, and one of them said with a southern accent, "It seems that the fighting system has changed. Hurry, take a number first." The 2 people said, stepped forward, and tore off the sign with 2 written on it. Then he looked at the 3 people and the number 1 note in the hand of one of them. He suddenly felt a little disappointed and exclaimed, "Friends, why did you come so early?" The previous collector was a little polite. He smiled vigilantly and said, "We drove all night to get here." The man suddenly beat his chest and said to the person next to him, "I asked you to drive faster, faster, and don't be afraid of speeding. You're so stupid." You said safety first, dumb. The person next to him said aggrievedly, Brother Hui, I was already very fast. I ran at a speed of 150 per hour all the way. The vendor looked on. Surprised, he quickly walked a few steps away and sent a message in a low voice to the group. DMN it, you guys, it's really a f***ing ghost. 2 groups of people came here early in the morning to find Liang Yun. It sounds like they mean it. They drove here all night. Why are these 2 groups of people coming so far to find him?